Welcome to Horror Flicks and Music Mix. We are your hosts. I'm Dustin.
And I'm Kevin. On this podcast, we discuss horror films, the scores, and the people behind the movies.
Our goal with this podcast is to fully analyze a variety of horror films as well as give our unfiltered opinions on said films, like the film we are talking about today. It came
Yes,
up on the Halloweel, which I have to pull up and get ready for the end of this episode for the last time.
I know.
Scary stories to tell in the dark.
Yes, by Andre Orvedal. It's some Norwegian stuff. But Dustin, there's something big we got to say about this episode.
Oh, it's the most not exciting 100th episode.
Yay! Talking
Doing
about
an
it,
okay film.
doing a film. All right.
It's all right.
I mean,
It's our 100th episode. Yeah, I
that's
forgot.
crazy.
I already forgot.
I I decided to take a trip back and listen to our first episode, and the like listening to the audio quality, the amount of times we stumble over our words. It's quite a journey. So if you
the cold open episode.
that and the Bo is Afraid episode.
We'll just take that down. I'll just go ahead.
No, let's leave it, or we can revamp it. I know sometimes like
I wonder how many people like listen to that and then they're like, nah.
well, now that we have 100 episodes under our belt, we can make it we can spice it up a bit now that we know. And especially like our intro was completely different when we started. When we still had the Welcome to Horrorflix Music Mix, we're your hosts, but then it was like, we've simplified it over the years.
Interesting.
But yeah, think if you guys have been joining us, thank you for our 100th episode. And let's dig in. I mean, gosh, it's still it's spooky season, favorite time of the year. How did you hear about, I mean, for us, I think for you as well, it's the books that I heard about this. What is your history with the books?
Oh, reading it back in what elementary school, Scholastic Book Fair.
Yes.
Go buy your Goosebumps and Harry Potters and scary stories to tell in the dark. That's what I was doing.
Oh yeah, when I first saw like the cover, it had like a weird clown looking thing, like blue. I was just like, I want to read that, and I loved them. I read them all the time, and then that alongside Goosebumps, which then I got into those the TV show / movies, whatever. So I was really excited about that, and then when we got onto this, I was like, ooh, I wonder how they're going to bring that to the fore. Well, they did a pretty good job.
It was all right. Yeah, I watched it once, and then watching it again, I was like, oh shit. Like, there's some cool stuff, and it's a PG-13. That's the thing. It's a PG-13 horror film, so it's doing the most it can for what it is,
and it's geared towards younger audiences, which I get because the books were technically that. Even though you look back and like some of that stuff was pretty damn dark, but that's how we turned out where we are. So now I remember seeing the previews of it, and I was just kind of like, it could be interesting. And I saw Guillermo del Toro's like a producer, so I'm like, that could give it some legs, make it worthwhile. But yeah, it turned out decent.
It's all right.
Yeah. So, how would you summarize this lovely tale?
Spoiler-free short summary based on the book Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which was a collection of short stories over like 1 or 2 books. I mean, like 1 to 5 page short stories. That they were like, how can we make this into a movie? And it takes place late 60s. And some kids find a book that has said stories in them, and they kind of happen as they read them, and they kind of appear to be written before their eyes while also happening because of a curse.
Yeah.
If that were, like
I feel like that when I'm doing my review, when it gets towards the end, that's where I start to really lose interest because it got too far into the like
The
we really
curse.
want to care about this family that tortured their sister or something. Like, we don't care. We just want the scary stuff.
Yeah.
We don't want this sentimental bullshit. But anyway,
Oh,
well, no trigger warnings. Like, it is PG-13,
PG
so
13.
I mean, it does have some pretty good moments though, and I was
Some
like, okay,
There's
I
some
love
racist
that.
stuff in there.
Well, yes, I mean
I
it's
mean, it's
definitely playing into the late '60s vibe,
yeah,
and they like to mention how much they like to really put it in that place constantly with like the election talk and
the draft and yeah.
yeah. So yeah, interesting. Well, anyway,
All right.
I'd like to start off with the music. The intro to this is excellent. It had a very Philip Glass kind of like Candyman vibe. It had like orchestral underneath it, but was still like that creepy piano. Um, but it was also unique enough to be like, oh, this fits really well. Um, I think that was a good start into it. And I was getting really excited. I was like, oh, damn, that'll be cool. Because I noticed with the score, like it was sure it didn't stick out, but the intro theme did well. And I know they used a lot of the same people or Andre used the same people, the director for his film Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Oh yeah, you just
That's
watched that too, huh?
and that was yeah, I liked that. Not a whole lot as much as I thought it would, but it was still good. So his essential like scares and how he builds things up with the music is great. Yeah. And then we get off with a quote. If we repeat stories often enough, they become real. Ooh. It's 1968 in Mill Valley, Pennsylvania. Halloween, season of the witch. I was like, see what they did there. And then all of a sudden we have three football player dudes that look exactly the same. They all have the same haircut. It's all dark brown, dirty blonde.
The one dude reminded me of that dude from Twin Peaks season 3, who's just an absolute piece of
Oh,
shit.
yeah. Yeah.
That
That's
kid.
right. Yeah. Yeah, no, they all look exact. So I was like, what? And then we see a man in a car. It's our main character on a bike and Dean Norris watching the Nam War. Dean Norris, you should know as Hank in Breaking
Yeah,
Bad. We got the girl. Her name is Stella Nichols or Nicholas Nichols. Well, it doesn't matter.
I'm probably
Is showing
Nicholas.
off her. Yeah, she's showing off her awesome room, and I love that she's got all the classics in there. She's got a Night of the Living Dead poster. She's got a White Zombie poster. She's got
Invisible Man.
Invisible Man. She's got them, I think, in the corner or something. She's got a lot.
Yeah, a bunch of classic horror movie posters.
And then just like any kids in the 60s, they all have ham radios. So they all start talking to each other on the ham radios, talking about going or just radios, I guess, going trick or treating. Even though I can't tell between the ages of she looks like she's 13 and then the other guys look like they're 20, but that's fine. And they're deciding there's a flyer for a double feature, which what a great double feature this is. The Terror and Night of the Living Dead.
At the drive-in.
Yes. Now, have you ever seen The Terror? Because
yeah, once a long time ago. That's the one that Jack Nicholson's in
Jack
that, isn't it?
Nicholson's
Yeah.
in it and doing the best he can with the most boring script ever. I was just like, oof, that was
I
rough.
think I watched it once. I was like,
Yeah. I mean,
but Night of the Living Dead.
oh yeah, of course.
Classic.
And then of course they're getting ready to go trick or treating, and now we're back to the football dudes, and they're throwing bottles at the scarecrow guy. And right away I was like, wait, I remember that guy. Obviously, with the books and the illustrations, they say, "Eat shit, Harold." I guess they just break bottles over this scarecrow all the time, which is like, what the hell?
Yeah, they just have it out for this scarecrow who's done way too much to them. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like, what has Harold ever done?
Poor Harold. Yeah. And then we see one of the kids is fishing shit out of a toilet. I'm like, what the hell? I guess because it's going to be part of this prank, which I wouldn't go that far to get a prank. You know what I mean? I would not fish out shit out of my own toilet. I think it's going too far. If I have to do that, I'm like, it's not worth it. Anyway,
just poop in the bag. Yeah.
Yeah, that right.
Like,
or something. Or use dog. Isn't people use dog poop? That would make anyway. The one kid, I love that he gets like, I thought I said Spider-Man. It's like just a spider costume. It's the cheapest looking thing ever.
oh yeah.
And then we see the other kid, we'll get their names in a bit. I start getting their names. I think Aggie. He's a Pierrot. He's a clown, but not really a clown. Um, he's the nerdy kid. We're all nerds.
Everybody's like, "You're a clown." He's like, "I'm a Puro."
I'm a
Yeah.
Pierrot. They're the oldest trick or treaters in the entire block, and I love that they know it's trick or treat time, and the football dudes always come by and grab everyone's candy. So they fill the bag with dirty underwear. And of
Mm,
course, as the car's flying down, they take the bag and it's like, oh, it's full of underwear. They start throwing eggs and then a bag full of shit that goes into the car and into the guy's lap. I'm like, damn, they almost killed the guy. And they run into the car runs into the thing like, you're dead. So it's like the usual like Stephen King bullies that are gonna go kill the kids. It's very like Stand By Me esque.
yeah.
As they're running away from the football dudes, they're at the drive-in and we're seeing Night of the Living Dead. But I don't know. Did you notice this? The audio was not matching up with where
Yeah.
the film was at. I don't know if that was on purpose or just random.
I did notice that. I was like,
It's so
"Wait,
weird because they're doing like the all point bulletin, but it's um when I don't remember the names, but the dad of the girl downstairs is talking to our main girl, but it's yeah, very just
yeah."
strange.
The audio was not. Yeah.
I don't know what that was about. The kids hide in some random dude's car, and we find out this is the dude from the beginning. And they're all like, "Hey, you don't look like you're from here." It's like, well, okay. He introduces himself as Ramon, and then we got Stella, and then the boys in the back are Chuck and Augie. And then the bullies are out with the bats, and they're saying, "Hey, get out of the car." And he's like, "Ooh, you get out of the car," and calls him a racial slur, which I'm like, all right, they're going with that. It's the 60s. Okay.
Right.
Well, and then the manager comes out and tells the football dudes to leave. The girl Stella decides to get some air because the football dudes were talking about how her mom had left her. And I'm already kind of like, at this point, I was like, oh, I just want the scary story part. I was already starting to be like, it's going to be one of those like, oh, kids going through stuff and then they find spooky things. I feel like that's just so contrite, but it gets better than it gets again.
Yeah.
What do
I
you
was.
think of the characters? So I mean, it's like it's just they're typical kids, but there's nothing.
Yeah.
It's just they're
They're
there.
they're just kind of there. I agree with you. It's like the middle of the movie is good. Like this beginning part is like, all right, get it going.
Yeah.
And then the end, it's like, oh,
Oh man, I hated the ending so much. But anyway, we'll get to that. There are some good nuggets of horror out of this that you can get.
yeah.
So Stella tells them that hey, we should just all go see a haunted house to celebrate Halloween. It's like hell yeah. And then they go to one of the houses. It's all boarded up, and they give a little background that it's the house built by the Bellows, and a child murderer lived there by the name of Sarah Bellows. Ramon decides to break the lock with a pen. I guess he's MacGyver. I don't know. And they head into the house. As Chuck and Augie go running around the house playing peekaboo or something, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Augie sees something at the end of the hall. They talk about how strange Sarah would tell them scary stories as they're at the house, and talks about how Sarah hanged herself with her own hair to escape the mob of people trying to kill her. Hmm, interesting.
Yeah. I don't with your own hair. Are you sure?
Well, I
Like,
mean that's a Junji Ito story, so that maybe that's where they
oh.
got it from. Probably not. I don't know. It's much cooler than Junji Ito does it. Um, and then supposedly she would write these stories that would come to life.
Yeah.
They never explain how that works, but that's fine.
Which is fine. Yeah, I was gonna say that's fine.
They don't need to. Anyway, if you come to ask, then we get the background, we get some exposition. If you come to ask Sarah to tell a story, it will be the last you ever hear. As Ramon finds a hidden door behind a cupboard, they see a very webby, dark back room, and they decide, let's go in there because that's what I would do when I see a room like that. Just. As Stella and Ramon go back into that area, they find Sarah's room. Chucky and Arg are still playing hide and seek for some reason. And as Chuck is hiding in the closet, he opens the closet doors to see a well-lit bedroom with a woman and a dog on the bed. Ooh. And of course, he closes it. He starts hearing slow footsteps, and then a creepy laugh, and boom, it's just Augie. And Chuck's like, "Oh, dude, I don't know what I just saw." As they're looking around the room, Stella finds a music box, and of course, she plays it. It's just all the horror tropes. Like,
Yeah.
they find stuff, they play with it, they mess with it when they shouldn't.
Cabin in the Woods. Don't do it.
Yeah, basically, Cabin in the Woods Child Edition. Stella looks
Yeah.
behind a curtain and finds a huge book. It's a book of scary stories. And she says it was written in children's blood, supposedly kids dying because of her stories. Ooh, the light goes out, and all of a sudden the door is locked with Chuck and Augie going in there too. The football dude locks them in the room, and Augie's sister is with him, saying it's going too far. And he's like, fine. He pushes her in there too.
Yeah, he's just a jerk.
He's a dick, of course.
He's just one of those, you're like, this fucking kid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. So, funny story. This kid gives me the vibes. So, we went to Roca Berry Pumpkin Patch, the haunted houses after Ian's wedding the other day.
Oh yeah.
And he was definitely a minor, but this kid was wasted. And
Oh
he was
dear.
arguing with the security guards, and he literally said, "You have no idea how much money my parents make." And I was like, and dude, we were just laughing. And it's like, this football kid gives off that same vibe.
Yeah. Oh
It's just
dear.
like, you're being that person. Nobody likes you. Okay. If anyone's
Yeah.
listening, like, and you're that person, stop.
And if you say something like that, that just
You're like,
that puts you
dude,
down so many pegs in life.
like,
'Cause
yeah, dude. And he was just like, you have no idea. We're just like, dude, this dude really is just
yeah.
same
Well,
vibe.
was that located in Lincoln or?
Roca. It was basically drive by Roca to get to where we were. It's south of Lincoln still.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, yeah, now we're trapped in the room, and of course, at some point, Stella starts asking out loud for Sarah Bells to tell her a story. Great idea.
Yeah. Well, oh, okay.
And then this dark, like mist shape starts crawling towards the outside door and unlocks it for them. As they go outside, they find Ramon's car all beat up and painted a Hispanic racial slur. As Stella brings Ramon to their house, he can sleep downstairs. It's like, even though he just met him. And then I had this question. What ages are the kids? Stella looks like she's 13 or 14. Ramon is 18 or 17.
I think they were all. It sounded like they were all seniors because they were like, this could be our last Halloween together. Like they were moving or going to college or
she
something.
just looks very young compared to the rest of the kids.
Yeah.
In this. That's why I was always like, this is weird.
They're probably like 17, 18. Supposed
Yeah,
to be.
we'll just say that's the case. Yeah. And Ramon, when they're in the room just hanging out, guy that just met, cool, finds a famous Monsters of Filmland magazine. I'm like, that would be so awesome to get some of those. Sweet. They start talking about how Stella should totally move to the city if she wants to be a writer. And then we get some. I started getting bored. I just was like, she gives them some bedding, and they start talking about their lives. No one cares. She gets out the book from the house they were at and starts reading the chapters, all the story names from the original series, which I was like, hell yeah, I need to go find those books. I have them somewhere.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I do too. Still.
Yep. She notices the ink is written in blood, and then we get this really cool 80s synth music. And I was like, that's the stuff. That's the stuff I love. And we find out that it's Tommy Milner. That's the football kid, the dick one. He gets home to the family farm to go deliver eggs in the middle of the night because, okay, sure. I guess that's what they do in the 60s. As he's walking through the cornfield, we see Harold again, the scarecrow. And he's like, obviously, eat shit, Harold. It's like, man, poor Harold. Just.
Yeah, dude did nothing.
He's doing his job.
He's just passing through. Oh yeah, Harold. Yeah, he's doing his job.
He's scaring the crows, and of course, as this is the case, he notices he's lost in the cornfield. But every time he comes through, he passes Harold again, and I'm like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. This is the thing that the director Andre Orvidal does very well, building tension and atmosphere. Something he did on Autopsy of Jane Doe very, very well. And these are the parts of the movie that shine. I would just cut out the first 20 minutes, the middle part, and then the last 20 minutes, and you've got the movie. There you go. This should have been an anthology. But anyway.
Yeah.
I love the slow tension because we're following the camera through the maze, and he keeps seeing Harold every time, and then he doesn't see him, then he sees him again. It's just really cool. Really, really cool. This time, though, when Tommy comes up, he is gone and he's walking through and he sees Harold standing in the middle of the field. And we hear some creaking as he slowly comes to life. And I was like, oh, yes. Harold's now coming up to Tommy. And Tommy stabs him, but obviously does nothing because he's a scarecrow. So Harold stabs him back with a pitchfork as he's choking on straw. I'm like, damn, this is good. All the straw's coming out of his mouth and like ears and shit. And then, yeah, he starts retching out straw, and boom, it's the next day. What'd you think of this? Oh, yeah, kill one. What do you think of this first kill?
I was kind of surprised because I didn't remember it, and I was like, oh, they actually killed him. Like
Yeah,
he deserved it. So
I just like that it's, they're getting around the PG-13 thing by making it by adding these elements that are still spooky. I mean, like the straw coming out of his mouth and ears and shit. And
yeah,
he's like, yeah, that I was like, that's pretty brutal. I like it.
I would be scared for sure. Like
Hmm.
some scarecrow coming after me with a freaking pitchfork.
Oh
No,
yeah.
nope.
Hmm. Well, the next day, Ramon is at the body shop, and the sheriff comes by to racially profile because that's what
Right?
they
He's
do in
like,
this town.
I thought I told you get out of here. Like, what are you
They're
doing? Yeah, it's
what
just
the
like, dude,
get out. Mhm.
gosh.
The and the gang, I don't know why it's called the gang's reading the story. I felt like it was like Scooby Doo for a second. The
That
gang is
kind
reading the
of.
story about the kid who turned into a scarecrow, and they're like, "Wait a minute!" They're all trying to figure out what happened to Milner. And Augie talks about how he saw this old lady and a dog the other night when they were at the house. Sel's now talking to Ramon, worried about Tommy not being at school, and the rest of the kids are like, "Well, we don't care. He was an asshole." They're going
Yeah.
through the cornfield when
Yeah.
they walk back home, and they see Tommy as a scarecrow looking like Harold. Oh, dang.
Yeah, he's got his Letterman jacket on and
Hmm.
all that.
Oh, good stuff.
You're like, oh,
Now back at the school, Stella decides to bring the book with her to class. Now we're back at the haunted house, so we just keep doing these little pushes. Stella puts the book back and decides she needs to leave. She's like, this is getting too close to home. She sees her dead Hank, I mean, whatever his name is, I never get his name,
yeah.
asking him about why he works so much. And he evades the question, asking about the Milner boy. And yeah, who cares? Anyway, now we get Augie's sister, and she's looking at a spider bite in the mirror. I was like, oh, man. This is the
Ah,
story that ruined me when I was a kid, and I was just like, anytime I saw, I was just, oh man, this one got me good. Because I remember that drawing; it's literally etched into my brain. And those of you who read the books, just. Whew. Anyway,
let's see if I could pull up these pictures while we do this.
oh
Yeah, that'd be good.
yeah, so I wonder if Alan Schwartz did, or that's his name, if he did the drawings too, or if he just did the stories and the drawings. Anyway, it's still awesome stuff. It's just a big part of my childhood. It's what got me into this. Probably wasn't for that, wouldn't be even on this podcast. Like, love this stuff. When she's in a room with Ramon finds the book, and Stella's like, "Wait, I put that book back." And he's like, "Oh, well." All of a sudden, the story starts writing itself, and she keeps trying to tear out the pages to have the story stop from happening, but obviously that ain't working. Stella calls Augie, and of course, he isn't picking up. And Augie sees a stew in the fridge. Ooh. And of course, if you guys know the story, there's a story about a toe in the stew.
Oh, dude, that one. Oh
Oh,
god.
yeah. He starts eating the stew, and there's a big toe in it. As they're reading the story to Augie, he's being skeptical. There's no voice asking where the toe is. Then he realizes he's eating the toe and spits it out and drops the entire stew, just like that episode of The Office, just all over. Or I guess it was chili, but you know what I mean. After throwing down the stew, Augie starts hearing footsteps. Oh, yes.
There's the big toe one.
There's the big toe. He starts hearing footsteps, and at the end of the hallway, we see a shape. Goes to his room. Yeah, see, that's some really cool drawings. And starts hiding in there. He starts hearing the creaking footsteps around the house, and I love the look of this creepy dead body walking around with no toe. And this part, actually, I'll be honest, it did get me because I knew the jump scare was coming, but I was like, oh, I did not see. I like that. So Augie's hiding under the bed because the door to his room slowly creaks open, but he doesn't see anything. There's
Oh
nothing
yeah.
there. There's no monster. He slowly starts creeping out to look
Let's see.
over the bed, doesn't see anything. But then The monster grabs his ankle and drags him under, and that got me because I was like, "Ooh, good stuff."
I'm trying to figure out what monster that was because it all looks like stuff from the book.
Yeah, I think they all obviously took elements from the book. I know the the weird looking lady is in it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, this one.
Mm-hmm. The scarecrow, and then the
Can't find the spider one. Spider. What's the spider one? You said it's etched into your mind.
no, I know I like the pictures etched into my mind.
This
That's it.
this
Isn't that
thing,
horrifying?
dude. Yeah, that's the one I remember.
Because that's
No.
the one I was just like, okay, I'm gonna have nightmares, and I did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here we go. Spider scene.
You just had to be there. Yeah. Oh.
For our YouTube people, I'm pulling up random pictures from the book so you could watch this. You could look along.
Mm-hmm. And of course, if you haven't read the books, you should still read them, even though it's technically for kids. I mean, I don't know. It's good gateway horror if you have children and want to get them into horror. Let's see.
Yeah.
See if my son will get interested in that. I don't know. He keeps asking me about like, hey, I saw the Scream guy and I'm really interested in watching. I'm like, no. He has ghost face on his Fortnite or something. I don't know. Any of that nonsense. But anyway, so yeah, now Augie's dead. That's kill number 2. Stella and Ramon are now talking the next day. Sad they lost their friend. Ruth and Augie come to meet with Stella and Ramon. They're telling him that Augie's dead, and Chuck's like, oh. And then the stupidest quote I've ever heard. Are you ready? You don't read the book. The book reads you. Like,
oh, God.
Oh, that was so corny. They didn't have to say that.
Yeah.
Now they realize that everyone in the house will have a story read about them. So Chuck is wondering what the hell they should do next. Ruth is like, screw you guys. I've got a musical to go to. They decide they're going to burn the book to get rid of it. They said it worked in Salem. And Dustin, you know, they didn't burn.
No, they didn't burn it. I know.
I was like, I bet he's going to say
like, I heard that too. I was like, what worked in Salem? They didn't burn any books.
No, they hanged a lot of people and they crushed one guy with stones.
They didn't burn any books. And even then, anytime anyone tries to burn a book in any movie or anything, it doesn't work. So where did it work?
Well, maybe they meant like burning witches, but they didn't burn witches there either.
They didn't burn any witches in Salem. No,
they did. Like in Europe, there was some of that, but not. Anyway,
yeah. I was just like, what?
And then Chuck says, "This is why I don't read books." It's stupid. Anyway, they decide to go to the nearby Gazette to learn everything they can, and now we get a research montage. They find that Sarah was murdered by the servants for supposedly dabbling in black magic. Ramon finds that all the family members up and disappeared all within the same year. Their names were Deodat. Like, what the fuck kind of name is that? And the story of the Wendigo when they look in the book. Stella notices the names of the family each have their own stories. And the next story is being written, and it's the Red Spot. And I'm like, oh, yes. The creepiest story of my childhood. Here it is. They find that the story is about Ruth, which is Chuck's sister, who's at the musical right now. As she's getting ready for a performance, she notices the big red pimple on her face. And we already know, I think most people, even that haven't even read the book, know what's coming up. And, it looks grody. She quickly heads to the bathroom before the performance, starts looking at it, starts to squeeze it. And I'm like, I love how we've watched 100 episodes of horror, something with double, like basically 200, almost upwards of 200 movies of horror on our podcast. And this is the scene that I was just kind of like, no, because I know what's coming. But when it comes to that kind of stuff, I'm just like, no. This is what creeped me out the most.
Oh, God.
I know. I could watch Terrifier 3, no problem. But this, I was like, no. As they run to go and try and find her, she's still trying to pop it. And then we see something slowly moving underneath it. I was like, no. And then we see a spider leg slowly creep out. I'm like, oh, I was dying.
No.
I hated it when I was a kid, and I hate
it
now. As she pulls it out slowly, the spiders start crawling all over, and all the spiders are crawling. And I'm like, burn it all to the ground. Burn the entire school to the ground. Oh, damn. When that little leg came out, I just was like,
oh, God.
Oh. That is seriously just the creepiest part. And of
Yeah.
course, as they're trying to help Ruth get the spiders off, Stella notices the dark shape, and they start like they throw water all over her, and she's got spider bites all over herself. I guess she survives, maybe, but they never say. So I'm gonna put it down as a kill. I don't know.
No, I swear to God, she comes up at the end. No, she survived.
Oh, she see, and the ending, I was so checked out. I was just kind of like,
No, she survived, and I was just like, "What?"
no, I guess, man, I wouldn't want.
She had a big old scar. Oh, here
And
we
like,
go.
yeah, there you go.
Oh no, didn't want to play it. Never mind.
Nah, that's okay.
That's
And
okay.
it's like, well, because of that, the high school production of Bye Bye Birdie's on hold, and thank Christ because that musical sucks.
Never
The next,
even heard of it.
it's not good. So I bet someone's gonna be like, "That's it." These talk shit about Bye Bye
That's
Birdie.
it.
The next day, the gang is trying to look for Luis Baptiste, a descendant of the Bellows maids, but I guess it's actually the kid maid. I don't know. Anyway, Chuck talks about a dream he had about a woman telling him to run away in a red room. I guess that won't come up anytime soon. They come to meet with Baptiste as they're watching Tricky Dicky. Wait, what the fuck am I talking about? Oh, yeah. No. Excuse me. That was the nickname for Richard Nixon. Tricky Dick. Tricky
Okay.
Dicky.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, I could go through the history of that, but we're good.
I was like, wait, what? I don't
I know.
remember.
I was like, wait a minute, is that a rapper? I forgot to like. No, that's the name for Richard Nixon.
There's a little Dicky.
Oh
He's
god,
a
yeah,
rapper.
Little Dicky, Mid Dicky, Big Dicky. Yeah, you know. They go over to see old Graham Lulu. The trope and we get the same trope. She's blind and old. She never responds right away until something brings her out of her coma state. There's just a lot
Yeah.
of those horror tropes. They're just kind of like, man, you see this so much, you know what's going to happen. They could either
Yeah.
make it shorter or just skip over that entirely. Like we have this excellent scene of the spider coming out and all that, and then we're like, well, let's go see this old woman who's going to tell us what to do, and she's blind, but she won't really tell us what to do because we have to figure it out ourselves. It's like,
Yeah.
anyway, they're in the living room. Stella notices a music box and decides to start playing it. And Lulu's like, oh, it's like, hey, Lulu, we have the book. And she asks, hey, bring it to me. She says, I feel sorry for the girl sitting down there by herself. And Lulu says, no, there's no magic, only rage. Like, so rage. Okay.
Yeah. Doesn't. There's a couple. Yeah.
It's like the rage virus.
That's what. Yeah. It's like that's all I could think of. It's like no. Like what do you just?
And the advice
You're
that
trying
she
to add
gives.
too much little things into all this. I think
Yeah.
that's the whole thing. It was like, how much can you shove in here? It's like,
We
don't.
need to pad the runtime. It's like, no, just do more of the stories then, or something.
Yeah.
They were trying to bring it all together, and that's what, you know, when we talked to Derek last time, I think that's what he said, is that yeah, it was just too convoluted.
Yeah.
But Lulu here, and of course she gives the best advice ever: you shouldn't have taken the book. Wow,
No,
thanks, Lulu, that's
no
really
shit.
helpful. Yeah. And now they're heading over on the bus, and we hear a radio broadcast of saying, say no to Vietnam. Yeah, that worked. They go to the hospital and ask for patient records. They're like, we're not going to do that. And they're like, oh, it's for a project. They decide to give them a form that they can
She's
write.
been dead for like 100 years. It's fine. That's what
Like,
the kid says.
I know it's like that's not how that works, but anyway. So the doctor in the back is like, well, those files are kept in the red room. I like how he says it because it's like, ooh, like. But they decide to go past they decide to sneak back in the back so the nurse doesn't see them. Now they're gonna go find this room. But I guess this hospital is fairly abandoned since all the doctors decide to leave at the same time for some reason. But anyway, Chuck keeps telling them that he had a dream about a red room. They shouldn't go there. And they say, okay, Chuck, you're gonna stay back. We're gonna go check out the records. And instead of staying there, he decides to get on an elevator and go onto the roof. But of course, the door locks behind him. And he sees some random orderly staff and like, what are you doing up here? He just starts running. That worked out. They look at the records and find Sarah was tortured and given all sorts of new age experiments like electroshock. And I'm like, this is where I put a little side note. I'm not gonna lie, I was getting really bored at this point because they were doing this mystery of Sarah Bellows. I don't care. We just want more of the scary stories to tell in the dark. It's scary stories to tell in the dark and the mystery of a woman we could care less about.
Yeah.
The movie.
Who to my knowledge, isn't in any of the short stories or books.
Not that I
It's just
remember.
like,
I
oh,
don't
we
think
got a
so.
freaking
Well, I get what they're trying to
uh,
do, but they really, really could have made it where, okay, have the scary book still, but have them just like be stuck in that room and like reading it, and then like it plays. I don't know, that's would have made more sense instead of this. Like we gotta have 60% of the movie be about these kids discovering a mystery. It's like, no, it's no, we don't need that.
yeah.
We don't need that at all. But anyway, now they're listening to a recording of Sarah Bellows telling Ephraim, yeah, and the best part of the movie's coming up soon, that she didn't hurt any children. Then they shock her ass. They find that her shitty family are the ones who killed the children by poisoning the water with mercury, and they start shocking her again, like, no, that's not true. But if that's the case, and they had the recording of this, why didn't the entire like town and history of the town be like, hold on, Sarah was telling the truth? Anyway, whatever. He starts yeah, now all of a sudden this part's cool. The next like 12 minutes are excellent. And then it goes back to being again. She starts reading the story from the recording back then, which I think is really neat. And now all of
Mm,
a sudden it says like, you know, on a long hallway, you're hearing the voice, and now an alarm starts blaring, everything turns red, and Chuck is like, oh hell no. At the end of the hallway is a large, grotesque looking creature with long hair and a very strange looking body. And I
I,
love this part. He starts running the other way, and then he notices at the end of that hallway. He runs the other way, and it's at the end of that hallway. And this is my favorite sequence of the entire film, because there's the first time I'm like, this is nice and creepy.
yeah.
This is the stuff that the director is really, really good at. What did you think of this scene?
Um, I like this scene, but like, even though I know that's what creature or monster, whatever, what have you, looks like in the original book, it's not scary to me. It looks like he's got a big old smiley face, and you know what I mean. And it's just,
Mm-hmm.
even though what it does, it's like, oh, fuck that. It is scary, but like, it doesn't look scary. But
Mm-hmm.
the and that's just me, I guess. Like, I'm sure some people were creeped out by that, but like, no, it's good. Like, as everyone could see here on the YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
I just have a GIF playing, but it's just like, yeah, it looks. Oh no, looks again. Oh, there's another one. Go this
Yeah.
way,
I
and just closes in. And you're like, it's definitely a situation where you're like, fuck that. But
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not, I don't think it's more unsettling than scary. And I think that's what makes it work, even though it would have been just as cool as it had the monster from the Big Toe story, which that one was really nice and creepy.
God, the big toe really got me. I'm not gonna
Mm,
lie.
I
Just
know, I didn't expect that at all. I was like, oh,
big.
excellent. Thank you. It's nice to, when we see so many horror films, it's nice to have like a little jump scare once in a while. I'm just like, oh, I needed that. I don't get them very often. So yeah, so now Stella's now calling her. So Chuck gets unfortunately he gets captured, and it walked towards him, and then it like absorbs him after it hugs him,
Yeah.
and then we never see him again. All of a sudden the kids are there, and all the hospital staff's like, did you lose your friend? I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess we did.
Yeah, they did.
And now Stella's at the police station with Ramon, calling her dad, saying how it's sad she's not with him. And then we get 5 minutes of exposition about, it's not your fault mom left. It's she had problems. Oh, I'm so sorry, Dad. It's like, oh my God, who fucking cares? I'm sorry. It's just like we're trying to build up characters. The only one that has a decent story is Ramon, because the sheriff comes to talk to him and then tells Ramon that, well, you're a draft dodger, and so he doesn't get any rights. And like, I do appreciate the historical politics overlaid on top, and it doesn't feel too forced, but it does. I do notice that it's another way to like, let's get out of talking more about scary stories, and here's some. I mean, it's timely. I guess it's timely.
It's the yeah.
I mean, I don't give a fuck. I would have been a draft dodger back then too. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I don't give a
Like
shit. I'll say it right now.
I mean, I'll say it too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that,
They have me go
dude.
to war, I will be in Canada before you know it.
Oh, my back.
Yeah, bone spurs. Okay, I'll stop. So this film has some bright spots with great scares, and then a little aside, I said, but these moments of character building, I just the Ramon story about his brother being sent back from Vietnam in pieces, and that he didn't want to go. That's the one story I was like, okay, that one, I like that one. That's fine, because I think that out of all the other ones, like that one does play into the creature he deals with later. All the other ones are just random,
Ah,
so we didn't need. I mean, Stella's story is just like very typical. Ramon's though is a bit unique, and I think they we should have made Ramon more of the focus rather than Stella. But that's just me.
yeah.
And I love the name Ramon. I just have always found that very cool. So the sheriff finds the book. They're at the sheriff station, and he has everyone go home because it's election night. And I guess everyone gets home early for that. I don't know. The sheriff finds the book and he opens it, and all of a sudden he notices the stories, and he goes over to Stella like, "You write this stuff?" She's like, "No, I don't." All of a sudden, lights go out. We start hearing a strange dog or sound and a dog growling. The dog's looking at the fireplace in the police station, and as the sheriff looks, he hears some rustling, and they're like, "Oh, read the story. Read the story. What's in the story? We don't read the
At
story."
least give me the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They find out the story has Ramon's name in it, and it's the Jangly Man. This one's pretty cool, but there's a few things I have issues with. The jingle. Then a head comes out of the chimney, and he opens his eye, and then it starts coming into pieces. I'm like, that's pretty cool. Now here's the thing, though. This is the one part of the film where the CGI really takes hold, and I'm keep thinking, I'm like, I feel like they could have done a little mixture of CGI and practical. They do a little bit of practical later, but most of it's CGI. It looks okay, but what do you say on it?
Yeah. Well, it's like they have to do some CGI, especially with it comes in pieces and then it gets all put together. But like with the creature as you can see here in this new GIF that I pulled up, like yeah, that could be practical effects.
I feel like they could have done something with that, because I can think of a lot of movies that have, like those monstrous elements, and they look a lot more realistic because practical. And I would rather have a cheap practical effect than a really good looking CGI, literally any day. There's
Yeah.
only a few movies where the CGI works well. I mean, obviously Lord of the Rings because it's the greatest thing ever made, but the in horror movies, like if it's CGI, it should be used sparingly, or there's like times where it's used, like for example, I'm trying to think of one that we watched recently had some CGI, but it was not overblown. So okay,
Wow. Seen too many things recently.
yes, Romulus. Now that
Okay.
had some CGI, but
They use a lot of practical effects too.
it was a lot of practical effects overlaid on top of it. So it was very, yeah. I mean, this one's okay. It still looks cool and all, but I think they could have done some of this with practical and CGI, and it would have came off a little bit cooler. But that's just me. So obviously, this little creepy guy now puts himself together. Then he twists the sheriff's head around. It's like, dang.
Yeah.
Crawl, and then he throws the sheriff's body at them. And he starts crawling in. He starts crawling in through the bars, and he says, "You coward, Ramon." I was like, "Oh, actually, says something with his story, almost like with like it, how the
Mm,
how Pennywise always had like some connection to like their greatest fears."
yeah.
And I'm like, "See, they're trying to go the it route now, but it's kind of too late for that since it's an hour and 10 minutes in the movie." And of course, he starts getting through the bars, and Ramon's, trying to get out, and all of a sudden, Stella gets the key, opens it up, and Ramon is able to start flying out there. And he says, "You go to the house," and he starts driving, and then we get a long chase scene. And as that he's being chased by the monster on top of the car, and then boom, he puts him to a truck. But of course, it can reassemble itself and assemble itself again. So he disassembles, then he assembles again, and he's
That
going to
part
try to.
I liked because
Yes,
then it's just like, oh, this thing is really scary. That makes it scarier because you're like, yeah, I got it, and then all of a sudden it's like, nope, and
yeah,
then like reassembles, and you're just like, fuck, like how do you kill something like that?
oh yeah, no, very very cool. No, I would say out of I mean, this is like the last of the monsters, sadly. But out of the
Right?
ones we've seen, what would you say is your favorite one?
I don't, the chick, I don't know, like the thing under the bed was like, ah, like that was actually scary. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know, Harold, the big toe coming out of the
Yeah.
kid's mouth. I
I
think that's a monster. But so okay, so what we got? We got Harold, we got the thing under the bed, we got the big toe, we got the red room with the big old weird looking thing,
and we got
and we
the red
we got
the
the
spider bite.
spider bite, and then we got this thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would say that under the bed, the
Yeah.
monster under the bed, because that is a no.
I think
That's
that was the best setup, and it was just I knew the jump scare was coming, and it still got me. I was like, "That's the spirit." Like I love that when that happens. Very very cool. And he was the creepiest looking one, I would say.
yeah.
Um, so kudos to the big toe. Well, we're not done yet. Stella's back at the house, and I'm kind of ready for this movie to be over. 20 minutes left. So this is where it's like I this is where they could have wrapped it up and we could have had another like big scary story or something, but it just kind of gets into like a everything's going to turn out okay Disney ending. Let me know what you think. The house turns into a very well lit mansion as Stella's there. She has no book in her hands now, and all of a sudden in this flashback we see this is the Bellows house. Stella sees an old blind grandma, and she starts flying around over the place because they realize they're looking for Sarah, and she doesn't know that she's actually they're looking for her because she, in this time lapse, is Sarah herself, going through what Sarah went through. As she's hiding in the grandma's bedroom, the old blind grandma's like, she's in here, she's in here. And Stella sees that she is Sarah, and it's quite a twist. The Jingle Jangle man, or Jingle, Jingle Jangleheimer is trying to get Ramon. He trips, and Ramon trips and hurts his ankle because, of course.
Yeah.
And then the family goes to question the child Lulu on where Sarah, aka Stella, is hiding. And they try to throw her off, but obviously they take Lulu away because they think she's lying. And now the brothers find Sarah/Stella. And she's like, oh, she's telling people about the poison water. I'm like, wow, this family sucks. Stella's sobbing that she isn't Sarah. Now they throw her in the dark. She's like, now you get no lights. You're going to stay in there. Boom. I'm like, man, I would write spooky stories that kill people too if that was my life. Seriously. In the distance, she sees an apparition of Sarah grabbing a nearby book while the music box song plays. Sarah starts slowly walking towards Stella, saying that she has another story for her. And then I'm like, and then this is when it just gets from here on incredibly corny. And I just let out a Stella's like, no, I'm going to tell you a story, Sarah. And she's like, you turned into a monster. You went through so much. It's not fair to you. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And Ramon's still trying to get away from Mr. Bojangles. After Stella's pep talk, Sarah starts getting teary-eyed, gives her a sharp quill, and it's like, prick yourself with it. She pricks her finger and she starts writing her own story. Sarah Bellows was innocent. She was, and I'm just like,
Yeah, she's like, I'll tell your story. You don't have to do this anymore. I'll tell everybody that you were innocent. But it's like nobody even knows or cares. There's just kids disappearing, and nobody's blaming it on this freaking story or person.
right. It just there's
Like
so
everybody
many.
forgot.
Everybody forgot that the sheriff got fucking his head twisted around, I guess.
Yeah.
Jesus. Um, and from people that were in a holding cell, now that
So yeah, speaking of, how do you get out of that one? It's like you were in the holding. Like,
yeah.
how do you tell the authorities
Oh, it was Mr.
later on?
Bojangles,
Oh
or
yeah.
it was Jimmy Jangles. He came out of the I don't know whatever his name is, Jingle.
I think the Jangle Man or something like
I've
that.
noticed I've said it 4 or 5 different names, but I might be doing that
What have we
because
got? Let's
I'm
see.
done with this movie.
Jangles.
Jangles,
Jangle Man.
Jangle Man.
No, hold on. Jangly Man.
Oh,
It's the Jangly Man.
okay, that's better than Jangles
Okay.
or Mr. Bojangles or Jingle Jangle. Yeah. So she writes it out, and now Sarah Bells is free. Then she does a loud shriek, and I guess the jangly man is now gone,
Okay.
and that's it. The Bellows family curse is done. We get a narration for the next like 6 minutes about how everything's going to be different now, and I don't care. And then as Ramon goes off to join the army, because I guess he changed his mind,
He's like, I'm gonna do it.
it's like, okay, as this must be a very pro-America movie. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, she asks like, "Hey, write every day." She writes him a letter and puts "Love, Stella." Oh, very cute.
Yep.
He gets on a bus, decides to go to war to probably get
Die.
blown to bits and in a Viet
Probably
Cong prison
die.
camp. No one says anything about the missing kids or the dead sheriff,
Nope.
or the fact that a young girl had spiders crawl over her face. Now she's writing with her dad, and that's it.
So I just looked up. The Jangling Man is referred to in the story of the Gangling Man, and
Mm,
he's the main antagonist of What Do You Come For? The third story from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
hmm
I don't remember that one.
That's the thing. There's certain ones I remember, but that one I don't remember. But I really want the books now, just for my own sake, to read them again.
Yeah.
Well, that ending, I don't know. Just how do you feel about like?
Yeah, I was checked out around the I'll tell your story
Yeah,
and
it
all
just
that. I was
felt
just
so like.
like yeah, I think we're both in agreement. Like the middle of the movie, and there was some cool stuff in it, but as a whole, it kind of missed the bar. It just missed whatever it was trying to do
Well,
with
what
this
they're
whole
yeah,
Stella or whoever. I already forgot. Sarah. Stella,
Arabella's.
Stella got her groove back. All right.
Well, it's like so they wanted to find something to match up with. And it's a PG-13 movie. I think it's almost like it's required to have an uplifting ending or something. I don't know, but it's maybe I'm just maybe I'm making that up. But it feels like every PG-13 horror film we've seen has a really like cringy, like oh, a happy ending. And in this case, it was just kind of like, whatever. I don't know. Well, scenes that stick out to you. For me, it is definitely there's two of them that at home with the missing toe in the hospital hallway. Both were those were my favorite sequences, and I would take those as like their own short movies, short films. Would be great. How about you?
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, the toe zombie under the bed, and just the toe coming and just how he spit up the toe in his chili or stew or whatever the fuck he was eating. And like the part in the hallway at the red room looks cool, but again, that creature is like meh to me. Um,
Yeah,
I like Harold too. Harold looks cool, but that yeah, not a whole lot.
yeah. It was just kind
Not
of
a
like,
whole lot going on here.
um, yeah. So, yeah, performances from actors, nah. It's everyone did what they needed to do, I guess.
Yeah, it wasn't like bad. It was just the writing, I think. Like even yeah, there's nothing. There's very little redeeming qualities from this movie, and we got like the makeup and the special effects. Like yeah, Harold looks cool. Some of the practical effects look fine. The CGI was okay, but it is what it is with the CGI. Um,
Right.
total kills technically 4, I think, and we've kind of expressed our overall feeling about it, which is meh. It's an okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, but
eh,
it's not like I'm definitely not gonna. I'm not gonna watch it again.
No, no, no. I'm not. It's one of those that yeah, if you want to watch if you want to like relive like reading those stories, just skip to the 20-minute mark and then stop at the like, 25-minute mark. And you can fast forward anytime the kids are like in a room talking to each other. To be honest with you, that's the part of just like I was not interested in that. And that's what really took me out of it is like trying to have this overarching story of a corrupt family, and then we don't hear about anything else. Like they said they disappeared, but did she write them in the story, or if they did, I miss that. There's no like ending to this. It's just kind of like, oh, everything's fine now, even though we have what 3 kids dead and a sheriff with his head turned around. That's fine. Go to war.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, there's more bigger problems going on. Yeah. On to the soundtrack. So we have
I see.
two iterations of Season of the Witch. In the beginning of the movie is the original by Donovan, and at the end credits is Lana Del Ray singing Season of the Witch as well, with a bunch of other. I don't even know if these are just like, are these songs or are they like score sequences? Marco Beltrami did do the score, and he did the score for Scream 1, 2, 3, and 4.
That's cool. I didn't know
So
that. Oh,
I like
that's why that
that.
name was familiar.
Yeah, I enjoy it. So that was cool. The sound design was cool. Soundtrack score, whatever. Got a bunch of random songs, fight and chase, suspense. See, I feel like those are score parts. I don't know. Nicholas Karras, Margaret Lewis. I'm doing okay. Kazinet's Cat Singing Orchestral Circus
Whoa,
did a song called Quick Joey Small. Horror Show from James Spilling, the Hearst song from Joe Zuban, and a bunch of other random stuff. So yeah,
a lot of Marco Beltrami.
Yeah, Marco Beltrami here.
Interesting. So yeah, we got that, and then we've got the Beltrami and Anna Drubik did the score, and I really like that main theme. I think that was the highlight of like the score, because it had a lot of elements of like, we're gonna add like a little bit of Philip Glass, mix that with a little bit of like Manfredini-esque sounding stuff. You could tell what they were going for, and then it's just unfortunate that it was with this movie that is like a third really good, and the rest was just kind of yeah.
It's better than some of the other things on the freaking wheel, though.
No, that's true, and I will watch. I will watch those, like the Scary Story snippets, as like their own like short films. But that's about it. Oh man. Well, how about our actors and crew?
We got Zoe. It's either Zoe or Zoe Coletti as Stella Nicholas, Michael Garza as Ramon Morales, Gabriel Rush as Augie Hildebrandt, Austin Abrams as Tommy Milner, Dean Norris as Roy Nicholas, Gil Bellows as the Chief Turner, Austin Zajur as Chuck Steinberg, and Natalie Ganshorn as Ruth Steinberg. Crew: Dan and Kevin Hageman, Guillermo del Toro, Patrick Melton, Marcus Dunstan, based on the work of Alvin Schwartz. They were all the writers. Roman Austin did the cinematography. Patrick Larsgaard was the editor. Ruth Myers, costume designer. Darren Boyosio, creature effects molds. Okay. Then we got Norman Cabrera, Sophie J. Cameron, Francois Dagenat, Mike Lizold, Debbie Gonzalez, Mike Hill, Megan Manning, Brian Wade. They were all on the special effect makeup artist and creature designs. And then over to Justin Boone, Fabio Bonvinci. Dude, Fabio is an awesome name. Fabio Bonvinci, Dave David. Are all in the Mr. X Incorporated visual effects and digital compositing. There's like 60 other people.
There was a lot of people on the Mr. X Incorporated. Yeah. So now
the director, Andre Jorvedal, Norwegian film director, mostly known for his horror films such as The Autopsy of Jane Doe, The Autopsy of Jane Doe, and Troll Hunter, which that's also like a newer-ish one. His films are particularly known for their atmosphere, and Autopsy of Jane Doe is his highest rated film.
Yeah, there wasn't like, he's done this in Troll Hunter and Autopsy of Jane Doe, and that's kind of it. I feel like the Autopsy of Jane Doe was probably his best work. That's the one that most people like look to and have good things to say about. And I liked it. It wasn't incredible, but I did like it. Um, so it's cool that he had a chance to take these children's stories and try to make them palatable for like a bit of an older audience, um, but also try to keep it semi tween friendly. So, but yeah,
Movie was released on August 9th of 2019, pre-COVID. Country of
whoa,
country of origin, United States and Canada, with a $25 million budget that grossed 104 million worldwide. Of course, everybody was like, "What?" Everybody was pumped when this came out, and
hmm
it is what it is.
and now look
Ro-
at the score.
yeah, Rotten Tomatoes score here, 78% from the critics, 72% from the audience.
Yeah,
I disagree with that.
I just
I
maybe I
disagree.
just missed something. Like
I,
obviously the stories themselves were very well done and it was well shot and I like the creature effects and but the story around it was just so like bland. And that's what took me out of it. Every time that's like the kids in a room talking about stuff, I'm like, we don't care. I don't have any room to care. The only person I care about in that crew is Ramon because he actually has a backstory that's a little interesting. Stella, though, I could care less about. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, I feel like that's too high. I'd be more in the 40 to 50% range,
yeah,
maybe in the 40s, mid 40s.
40 to 60 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The mid, the
Mid.
middle, which leads us to our rating system: kill it, watch it, or buy it.
Mm.
It's like it's not bad enough to kill, but
Right.
it's
It is well
not.
done.
I guess watch it.
Or if you're really kind of like, just skip like the first 20 minutes and then anytime the kids are talking, I know the movie will only be like, 25 minutes then, but there's those sequences are worth watching on
Uh,
their own.
the spider scenes on right now.
Yeah. That's
That
worth
see,
watching.
yeah, there's parts of this definitely worth watching. So I guess watch it. That's what I would
Yeah.
say.
Or if they didn't watch it and then skip in between when they're not telling the story because you'll be bored.
Yep,
Like that.
that's my reaction watching the red spot.
I know it.
Ugh.
It's just I'm already arachnophobic, so that part just gets me. I'm just like, no.
All right, the last spin.
Oh man,
Should we do it?
this
We
is it.
have we have so many movies. If you could see on YouTube, you can see the wheel. It is up right now. We have
Mm,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Like roughly 17-ish movies, maybe. I don't know.
and a
We
lot of
started
these
with
are good.
we started with like 20, I guess.
There's more good than bad on here now.
But this is the final spin for Halloween, for our Halloweel for the month of October, and then we're going back to, I think we have a
We're
couple
still on
left in
2000s.
2000.
Hmm.
So, moment of truth
Oh boy, come on.
starts now. Hey, dude, what
Yeah.
is wrong with this thing?
Oh, trick or treat, motherfucker.
Oh my fucking god.
I'm excited. I'm not gonna lie. I know it's
Last
bad,
time I
but
watched this one, I was like, I'm not, no.
we have to do what the wheel says.
The
We
wheel
agreed to it.
says, to those listening, Halloween Resurrection. I look how close it was to Halloween 2, though.
I mean, that could have been much worse.
I would do Trick or Treat, Halloween 5, The
Hell
Crow.
House is excellent. Oh
Come
man.
on. Come on.
I mean, it'll be fun. It'll be fun in a bad way. I haven't
Oh
seen that
my
one in a bit,
god.
but I
Oh my god.
I do remember being really, really pretty bad.
Oh
And
my
especially Michael's mask in this one is just like, why do they keep changing it? Just,
oh my god.
uh, well, it's interest. I guess not ironic. It's on point that the majority of the films for this month were Halloween films. We had four, Rob Zombie, Resurrect, none of the really good ones, which is 1 and 2, and I'd even say go out a
Three.
limb.
Three.
Three. Well, the Michael Myers, what I mean. But anyway, so yeah, we'll be covering Resurrection for the end of October, and I can tell we're stoked about
I
that.
can't fucking believe it. That's
Tyra
good.
Banks and Busta Rhymes. Here we go.
For our 101st episode, Halloween Resurrection.
Well, at least we'll say it's out of the way. So then when we ever get to that year on our list, we can just be like, no, we can skip it. We already covered it.
Gosh. And that's going to be it for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give us a 5-star review wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Give us a like on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. You can follow us also on Letterboxd, where we put up the movies we discuss and all of the hundreds of films we watch. I know Dustin's on 93 at the moment. He's almost got 100 for the year. So hopefully you've been following him on that journey.
Only in
theaters. Sorry, in theaters.
theaters.
That's a big deal. Yes. And now, what is your letterbox there, Dustin?
It is Dustin at HFMM Pod.
And mine is Kevin at HFMM Pod. So you can follow us. We'll follow you back. And I live on that site. I need to put in some of my films from the last 2 days, and one of them is Scary Stories Telling Stories, because I had a random year chosen. It was 2019, and this came up. I was like, oh, that's perfect. So let's do that. And then I also watched what else did I watch? I can't remember. Hold on. I have it right here. I also watched
The Shining yesterday.
Oh, yes, there's that.
Wait, and this. I watched Scary Stories Telling the Story and The Shining yesterday. And I saw Black Phone 2 today. And then what was Saturday? Oh yeah, Corpse Bride. And Friday, I can't think. There's so many.
Lots of movies.
Too many movies.
Too many. But obviously, we love hearing from you guys on email too. So email us directly at hmmpodcast@gmail.com. It's been great to have so many people that wanted to do interviews, and we have all these highlights with people now, which is really, really cool. And we look forward to doing more of that. So if you are anyone from an indie filmmaker to a big time exec and a musician or whomever, if you like horror movies, we want to talk to you. Simple as that.
Also working on bringing back vinyl edition episodes here. Going to be working on that sooner than later.
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, we got it, the music mix part of the podcast. We'd like to get the music mix in there too, because obviously music's just as important as the film itself, we say. And yeah. Oh, gosh, we get to cover such a great masterpiece next episode.
Trick or treat, bitch. Or I don't even know what the fuck he
says. Trick or treat, motherfucker. And then karate kick. So I guess he knows karate. Why not?
Fucking Busta Rhymes, dude.
Yeah.
And Tyra Banks. She's in it too.
Yep, she is.
And a bunch of other people who are no names.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, Resurrection. Oh! And what they do in the beginning of this movie.
I was thinking of that. I didn't think I wanted to say it to not give it away, but I was pissed how they did that.
God damn it.
Yeah.
No.
This movie. No.
I'm
gonna use that again.
Yeah, they that's the one thing I'll appreciate about Halloween 2018 is that they said no to what happened in this. Because it's like, no. Either way, on the next episode, we will be talking about Halloween Resurrection if you didn't catch that. And stay spooky.
Stay spooky.